2022. I want to welcome everybody to the Android Insight Call. Today is Wednesday, February 16th, 2022. Here we are talking about everything Android. So, anything that's running on the Android platform via your cell phone, your Alexa device, your tablets. Here we have an open forum where we can come together and discuss this with everybody. I want to say welcome again to everybody who is joining us via the Zoom link and those who are joining us doing via the ACB media stream. So I want to thank y'all for coming tonight. And let's just do a little bit of housekeeping right now. So just know that this recording, this is being recorded, and we ask that everybody please stay muted until you have a question. We do not recognize raise the hand. So when you have a question, please just unmute and wait for a break, state your name, and wait till someone acknowledges you. And then you can answer your question. Once you're done, please go back on mute. We try to minimize all the background noise because, as I said, this is being recorded. So the recording will be posted on the iBUG Today website. So anytime you want to go back and listen to any of the recordings, you can go to ibugtoday.com, go to the Android Insight tab, and you can hear it there. And it is also uploaded to YouTube as well. A little bit more. So if you're muting, just remember if you're on the PC, it's Alt A. If you're on a Mac, it's Command Shift A. If you're on your iPad, it's in the top center. If you're on your iPhone or Android phone on the Zoom app, it's in the bottom left corner. If you're on the phone calling in, it's *6 to mute and unmute yourself. As I said, I want to welcome everybody, and my name is Ava. I am one of your facilitators, and Hershi is my co-facilitator. And at this time, I'm gonna have Sandhya is going to give us the news, what's going on with iBUG and what's coming up.
All right, thank you, Ava. So we have some fun social stuff coming up. So tomorrow is our iBUG Trekkie Talk for anybody who's a Trekkie or a Trekkie wannabe. We are listening to Star Trek Next Generation Season 4, Episodes 4 and 5. Listen to them ahead of time and then join us tomorrow on this same Zoom conference line. And we'll be talking, about the episode and some trivia and good stuff. So that's 8 p.m. Central. Then iBUG Night at the Virtual Movies is on Friday. We'll be watching Lincoln in honor of President's Day. And then we have various, other activities and training and so forth. So the best place for that information is to visit our website, ibugtoday.org, ibugtoday.org. And then if you register there, then everything is free of charge, can't beat the price. And we hope that you will join us for some and all of our events. And thank you very much, Ava.
Okay, thank you, Sandhya. As I said, I'm Ava, and my co-facilitator is Hershi. Are you there? Okay, so he will be on with us soon. Well, I want to welcome everybody again. So I want to do like a roundabout and have everybody introduce themselves. If this is your first time to our call, please let us know your name. Let us know what type of device you have and how did you hear about our call. So I want to go ahead and open the floor for anybody that wants to step up first.
This is Herbie in Houston.
Hi, Herbie.
This is Weber, also in Houston.
All right, Weber, welcome back.
Thank you.
This is Sharif from Virginia.
All right, Sherry, thank you for coming.
Hi, this is Nellie from California, Santa Maria.
Hi, welcome, Nellie.
Hi, this is Nancy Unger from California. I got my G stylus, a 5G stylus Motorola phone yesterday. I'm scared to death. Thank you.
Okay, well, welcome. Well, you're in the right place.
Hi, this is Simone from Philadelphia.
Welcome, Simone.
Thank you.
Hi, this is Cynthia from Harrisburg, Pennsylvania.
Hi, Cynthia.
Hi.
Hi, this is Rhonda from Boston, Massachusetts.
Welcome, Rhonda.
Thank you.
This is Suva from Houston.
Ah, welcome. And that was who?
That was Suva.
Suva. Okay.
Okay, we're gonna mute everybody. We're getting some background.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, go ahead. You'll have to unmute.
Okay.
There you go. Okay.
There. Yes. Next.
I think you got everybody there.
Yes. Okay. So as I said, welcome, and we can open the floor for any questions, comments that you may have.
This is Sandhya.
Yes, Sandhya.
Okay, real quick. I'm having issues with my A lady on my Echo show, and she is like randomly, screaming out the time. I had it kind of loud, and so she's scaring everybody in my family. And she'll just randomly say 2:15, or whatever, and then telling us the weather. So is it a matter of taking the focus off of something, or I don't know what? So we had to unplug it because it was driving everybody crazy. So that's the question.
Okay. So let's open the floor for anybody.
This is Sherry.
Yes, Sherry.
So Sandhya, have you unplugged it and repowered it back up? And is it occurring after you repower it?
So my dad got mad and unplugged it, and then now she's not talking to me at all. So I have to go resolve that too.
This is Sherry.
Okay.
So I'm guessing your talkback is not talkback, your
Voice view?
voice view is turned off then?
It was on. I mean, I put my 2 fingers on the thing, and then it would come up and it would say voice view ready and all that. And then this last time after he unplugged her, she hasn't done that.
This is Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So I had a similar. So you're talking about like the Echo Show, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so I had a similar issue with mine doing this about a month ago, and it was frustrating because it would be repeating the time every minute. And I found that when I gave the screen a good cleaning, that seemed to solve the problem. Because it collects little dirt and dust flecks, so I think something is like, I kind of like cleaned off the screen completely, like with a rag, and then I made sure there was nothing like immediately in front of the sensors and stuff like that, so that like it had a little bit of space before it, and that seemed to fix the problem. So that's what I did.
This is Sandhya.
Yes, Sandhya.
Okay, I have can I have a related question, part of the same problem?
Yes.
When we turn on the light or whatever, then she starts talking too. That's another echo. They're everywhere. So like, in the morning you turn it on and then it starts talking as well. Is there like a motion detector or something in there?
This is Sherry.
Yes, Sherry.
Do you have a routine set up on your show?
No, I do not. Sunday, no.
So when you turn your lights on, it just starts talking?
Yeah, it's in the family room and I turn on the light in there and then it just says the time or something. Or she'll start reading the news. I mean, I don't know what it's always kind of a little different. So I don't know what she's doing. And that one's
And
different from the one in the kitchen.
is that light switch, is it a smart switch?
Oh, no, we're not that
Oh.
smart. No, it's a
Okay.
dumb switch.
I would say reboot again. Did you reboot that one too?
No.
Might want to try that.
Okay, thank you.
Mhm.
This is
Okay.
Herbie.
Yes, Herbie.
So I actually have kind of a somewhat related question as well. My Echo Show sometimes will randomly start playing a video stream. And what's weird is I've actually never told it to. It freaked me out one time. And light was not involved. In fact, I'd gotten out of the bath once. This was at night, and I'm hearing something talking. And I'm like, what? Where are you coming from? So you can imagine just how creepy that was. And I went out to the living room, and sure enough, it was the Echo Show playing, I think it was playing CNN or whatever. And I couldn't tell if it was a live stream or a video stream. So does anybody know why an Echo Show would just suddenly start playing random stuff? Like, is it that bored that it wants something to do? Or. And there was no light involved or anything like that. And nobody was talking to it or anything like that because Chanel wasn't even in the living room. So I'm just curious if anybody has encountered that. It's an Echo Show 3, I think, by the way, if that helps. So.
Okay, so we open the floor for anyone.
This is Sri.
Yes, Sherry.
I'm just thinking outside here. Herbie, do you know if you had like a power outage or anything?
That is a good question. We'd had power issues, and like we had like a true. Let's see, during the month of January, but I want to say this as well afterwards. We had one issue where we've had two power related issues, one around Christmas, one right after the new year, that affected more of our internet, and then one true power outage. The times the incidents happened, nothing had happened that particular day as far as I'm aware. So we've experienced like outages and stuff recently, but not when the actual events happened.
Hi, Herbie.
This is Sri. It seems like we're having more issues on the display device than non-display, because I'm also having issues with my show compared to all the other non-display devices, where I'm not experiencing both what Sandy and Herbie mentioned, but I'm just experiencing a behavior that is typically that I don't hear on the show that I'm hearing, or it's doing things that I typically don't hear on the show. So I'm just wondering, maybe is it a software update that needs to be done? Or like, I've done a lot of reboots. I mean, my solution has always been a reboot. Whether it fixes it or not, I'm not sure, but it's just what I typically do with situations like this. So I'm not sure if it's a firmware or something with the displays.
Hi, Herbie. Hello.
This is Sonia. Just remember, we all say our names and wait to be
It's
recognized.
Sailor. This is Sailor, Sonia.
All right, welcome, Sailor. All right, but we're all going through and asking questions. Okay, thank you for coming. Okay, go ahead, Ava.
Okay. Now I have to agree with you, Sherry, because I'm having the same issues with mine. I did get my Echo Show in the kitchen to stop, but I did like was suggested. I wiped the screen, and then I made sure I turned it away from any devices that was near it, so that it's facing out in the open and there's nothing touching on it. However, my Echo Show in my workout studio, it just goes off every ever so often. It's not even like it's on the hour, but it tells me the time, the date, and the weather. So So I would
Yeah,
kind
this
of
is Herbie.
go ahead, Herbie.
Yeah, I was just gonna say I would agree with Shri too. Like I've had no like the other Echo devices, they do not randomly go off or anything like that. It's just the Echo Show that definitely wants to act strange. So, but one
Yes.
question I have for you then, Ava, like, so do you
Yeah.
what models are your Echo Shows?
Oh my God. I know I got an 8,
Okay, I think.
5.
All right, I think ours is like a 5 or a 6.
Yes.
We got it back in 2017 or 18 or somewhere around that time. So whenever.
Yeah. So yeah.
This is Suva.
I'm wondering if a newer Echo Show has these problems, if it's like something with older models or something. But anyway, somebody else is speaking.
Yes. And
You're good. This is
Oh,
Suva.
it's Suva. Go ahead, Suva.
go ahead.
I'm just thinking outside the box. These are all connected by Wi-Fi, not a direct Ethernet cable.
Correct. Mine is anyway.
Yes.
I don't know what version of Wi-Fi they're running, 5 gigahertz or 2.4. Wi-Fi's are not very stable connection, so that's something that I don't know what else can it be. Maybe it's
This is Herbie.
reconnecting, disconnect. Go ahead.
Yeah, mine is definitely running on the 5G, and it's a relatively new router. Like we've only had it a couple years, so and like I said, we've had no problems with like the other Echo devices. It's just the Echo Show that has done some weird things. All the others act the way they should.
This is Shri.
Yes, Sheree.
So, but just so you know that no Amazon A devices run on Ethernet. They're all running Wi-Fi. There's no jack. So it's either going to run like on my router. I don't get to pick 2.4 or 5. It's just one, and it figures out which of the two protocols it needs to connect to. And I think like what Herbie was saying, this is really impacting with the screens. And obviously the screen has different behaviors than the non-screen devices because it's also looking for things too. And maybe the lens, because I know ours is like facing a wall, like it's pointing right to a wall. The only reason we use it is because it has a hub, but we never use the display for anything. So I just think it's just some quirkiness going on. And I have a show too.
Okay, hang on a minute. I need to do a quick technical thing. Brad, can you make Hershey a co-host because he cannot unmute?
I've already made him a co-host.
He went out and came back in, but he said he couldn't unmute.
This is Herbie.
Okay, I just made him a co-host when he came back in, but I'll go check it.
Okay.
No, I had a suggestion for Hershey.
Okay.
Make sure you've hit the got it button because that can prevent you from unmuting.
Yeah, that would do it.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, go ahead. And this is who?
I'm Nancy from California. I'm a novice.
Right,
I think everyone sounds advanced for me. I feel like maybe I should. I don't want to. I've never really used a touch screen, and I have this 5G and Motorola phone. I got as a free phone because they wouldn't accept my other phone. I'm having trouble even answering the thing. The woman spent 2 hours with me. We did quite a bit, but does this phone? It says you swipe up with one finger from the bottom, and I swipe up quickly, like I'm sweeping something, and it keeps saying the call from. How do I answer this? And then she actually made it so that the power button can be pressed to hang up the call, which I wish I could do it with both. I wish I could. There was a simple way of answering. I don't know why that sounds like a very simple gesture, but I'm not answering. It's not answering the call all the time.
Okay, Nancy.
That's one question.
Okay.
And also, does the Motorola? I forgot to ask this. I didn't even think of it. Does it have a USB-C port? And also, can one put some kind of dots? There are no. AT guy said there are no dots to put on a few places on the phone, like with iPhones. I have some dots that I can put on stoves and stuff like that. Can I put tiny dots on my phone without messing it up? Thank you.
Okay. All right.
Excuse me, Ava.
Yes.
This is Brad. Hershey keeps raising his hand.
He's trying to tell you, yeah, he can't get on. Okay.
Everyone has the ability to unmute. He's been made a co-host. I think Herbie was correct. Maybe he needs to alt tab or something until he finds the got it button.
Okay.
I'm not sure what it could be, but that's all I can think of. Okay, I'm going back on mute.
Okay. All right. So as for Nancy's question.
This is Simone.
Yes, Simone.
For the first part of your question, just like you were able to assign the power button to end calls, I know on my phone, you can assign the volume up or the volume down button to answer calls. So I answer call with the volume up button.
Wow, that'd be so much nicer. Oh, wow. Thank you. I didn't mean to interrupt you. I got all excited.
It's okay. It would be in the same place where you've made the setting to make the power button your end, to end the calls. So it would be in the same settings. So yeah, as far as
I'm taking notes. So the power button, I mean to answer the phone, try to answer it with maybe see, it has one volume. It toggles between up, low, and high volume. I wear hearing aids. It's a very excellent sound.
Yeah, you would have to.
So I can actually. I beg your pardon.
Sorry, I was going to say you would have to assign it. So if you can get someone to assign it for you, that would help the problem. As far as now, I can't really help you with the swiping part, but if you can get someone, if you need some assistance to help you assign the volume button to answer your calls, that can help alleviate that problem. Mm-hmm.
Oh my God, that'd be fantastic. And okay, go on. I'm ready to listen further. Thank you.
This is Suba.
Yes, Suba.
I have a question about, okay, it's been a while since I used an Android phone. How do I kind of use the current Android device, use Talkback to help someone like read a book? What kind of process or procedures in place? Is it like VoiceOver? Has it changed? Can anybody give me some updates on how today's Android and Talkback work?
Okay.
With reading some sort of book or article or PDF documents like that.
Okay, well, hang on for 1 minute. Nancy, for the second part of your question, no, there's no way to put dots on you. At least I haven't put any dots on my phone, on my Android screen like that. Usually if there's, since I'm assuming you don't have a home button at the bottom of your screen. Okay, then there is a bottom row. I always call it my control panel because it's back, home, and recent, and it may be reversed. You may have recent on the left and back on the right, but in the middle is always home. Okay.
In the middle is always what?
Home, HOME.
In the middle is always home. Okay.
Yeah. So, and then the rest is just swipe gestures. Okay.
This is Weber.
Yeah.
Yes, Weber.
Yeah. So about the dots, I mean, you cannot put like them on the screen, but you can put on the border. At least gives you a sense where to touch. Like, okay, where is the middle, for example? I think that can help. And in my case, when the phone rings, if I disable Talkback, it automatically gets the call. So I press up and down, volume up and down together, and it gets the call. So there are other ways to do, but I really like the volume up better. I think if you can assign that, it will be better. Can also not about the reading articles and books with using Talkback. For example, if you use Amazon Kindle, and you have Talkback activated, you just click on the screen, will read the whole page for you. Depending on the
excuse me, my phone's ringing.
Okay.
No problem. And if you use another reader, it usually will read by paragraph. You can use Talkback to navigate through paragraphs or through paragraphs or through lines. So basically, if you have it activated, it will read back to you.
That's only for, this is Suva.
Yeah.
That's only for Kindle books. How about any other PDF documents?
Yeah, this is Weber again. That will be this about the same. So for example, if you have a PDF, you can, if you use 3 fingers, you can, if you have Talkback activated, if you use 3 fingers in the screen, like down and up, you can change the way to navigate in documents or documents or websites, so far. So you can change, use 3 fingers down until you find like paragraph, and then with 1 finger swiping down, you navigate through tab paragraphs. Use the same way like you do in your computer with the arrow down and control arrow down. You can do using you can read by line, you can read by paragraph you can use titles, you can use links. So use 3 fingers and then you find like the way to navigate in the document or the website, whatever.
If you, this is Suva again. To read continuously, you just do 3 finger swipe down?
Continuous, no, continuous. I'm not sure about like reading a PDF continuous. Maybe someone has another clue to do that. Website, there is a configuration in the browser to read you the whole browser when you open. Not quite sure where is it. I can try to find here.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you. And all right, anybody else?
This is Nellie.
This is
Yes,
Kevin.
Nellie and Kevin. Okay, let Nellie first and then Kevin.
Well, I just have a question for Nancy. Um, Nancy, did you contact Gina Cosio to get into the Android class at Braille Institute?
Okay, so
You
we'll wait
hear
for
me?
Nancy to come back. Kevin.
Okay. So for reading, like he was talking about, you have the Kindle app. You also have in Google Play Books, you have a text-to-speech reader. It will recognize that you're using accessibility and it will read continuously for you. The continuous reading command is triple tap with 2 fingers, and that will allow you to read no matter what kind of content it is. If you are on a web-based program, something that's running in Chrome, you can hit the assistant key and say read it, and it'll read to you in one of the high quality voices continuously. There's other things like Moon Reader, but the Voice Dream, or whatever it's called, equivalent that runs on iOS is called Ledger on Android. So you can also use that to read Kindle books and PDFs and other content, as well as Easy Reader. Dolphin Easy Reader will allow you to pull in different types of content as well. And that's just scratching the surface with the different types of reading apps that there are available that have accessibility in mind.
This is Suva. Thank you very much, Kevin. That was very helpful. By any chance, please send me an email. Just true finger, triple tap, leisure. Just picked up a bunch of the things, but so it was quite a bit you gave me.
Yes, I can. Okay, yeah, I can send them to you, and also I will send them to you. But there's also, if you go onto YouTube and type blind Android users, they did a excellent podcast. One of their podcasts was focusing just on reading on Android. So that'll be kind of the backup or companion to whatever I send you. but they have a, and they're demonstrating some of the features.
That's very awesome. Thank you very much. It's nice to hear from you.
This is Sandhya.
Yes, Sandhya.
So Kevin, also maybe you can share that with our group thread, the
Okay.
Android thread that we have, and that way everybody who's subscribed, we encourage everybody to really subscribe to that, and we can get all the info from everybody else. Thank you.
Yes, thank you, Sandhya.
This is Shri.
Yes, Shri.
I'm sorry, can I go back to Nancy's question? You know, she
Yes.
said that to answer a call, she said it was, from what I was hearing, is a one finger swipe up from the bottom up, right? So is she doing something wrong for the call is not getting answered, or is that not the right gesture? Like the
It is
default
two
gesture to answer a
fingers.
call.
It is 2 fingers swipe up.
Okay, I think we probably need to clarify that with her, because I think she was doing a one finger swipe up is what I heard.
Mm-hmm.
It is 2 fingers swipe up. Is she the one that has a Motorola?
Yes.
Yes, Kevin.
It is 2 fingers swipe up if they're going with the regular Android, but Motorola will sometimes have a 2 finger swipe to the right.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, I'm the one. I'm sorry, I was muted. I heard you. I'm the one who has the Motorola 2 finger swipe up, right?
Yes,
Unless
just
I
make
have the
sure you're
volume
not.
control
Just
set.
make sure you're not at the very bottom. So to kind of do it about at least a half an inch up from the bottom and just swipe up, and you'll feel it vibrate, and it'll answer the phone call.
Oh, it will vibrate. Wow, thanks. Thank you. And then
It's very slight.
I don't mean, I don't want to monopolize. Thank you very much. I don't want to monopolize the call, but Google Assist read my email to, I mean, not me, my voicemail to me until I thought the numpad was at the top, but I think I have to go to the person put all my several of the apps I would use on the home screen in 5 different rows. And I have some materials coming about Talkback, and I have a couple. Anna Garza, I have something from Anna Garza. I'm looking through, trying to look through. From National Rail Press.
So you wanted to read your voicemail or your email or
yes, yeah, because I think I have to go to some app to get to the voicemail app or something and put numbers in, and I don't even know where the number. She showed me where the numpad was, but I was like,
So you want to dial your voicemail?
Yes, my password. Yeah.
It's usually in your contacts by default. So you usually can just say call voicemail. Sometime and some you can open up the phone app and hold down the 1 button and it'll call the voicemail. There's also the possibility, I don't know which of these is going to work for you, but you can also swipe down with 2 fingers to pull down the notification shade, and there'll be a notification that you have a voicemail. And when you double tap on it, it'll just dial right in and start playing your messages.
Full notifications, stay down and tap twice.
And then swipe to the right, swipe to the right until you hear it say voicemail, you have 2 or 3 or whatever. And then double tap on that and it'll dial in.
Oh, that'd be nice. Oh my gosh, there's so much to learn. Thank you.
Thank you, Kevin. Anybody else has a question, a comment?
Yeah, I heard there's no Bluetooth on him.
Hang on.
Go on.
I heard two people came in at the same time.
No.
I'm sorry. This is Simone.
Yes, Simone.
I'm new to Talkback, and it's very overwhelming to voice over.
Yes.
And there's a lot of questions that I have. Of course, I know I can't ask them all here, so I'm gonna just focus on certain ones. So the first one that I have is when I'm using the voice speech to text to send a text message. After I create the message, right? And let's say, she put the wrong word in, or I want to go back and edit it some way. I want to add an extra word or whatever. How can I move my cursor within the paragraph so I can make that edit? Because what's happening, I can't do it. So I have to turn Talkback off and then do it visually. So how can I do that?
Okay. So this is Kevin. So you double tap within the edit field and you have two ways. So first of all, you swipe to the left or right with 3 fingers to find the granularity that you want to move by. So if it's a particularly long passage or whatever, you might want to go by word, or you can go by character. But the way to navigate the text when you're in edit mode is to use the volume keys. The volume keys serve as your arrow keys, and you can move down the text by pressing up arrow and up the text by pressing down arrow. Also, you can swipe up or down with 1 finger to do the same thing, to move by word, character, or line. And just because you have it on words, because you want to move faster through the text, you can still switch it to characters if you just need to make a small edit. But if you want to make a word edit, then you can, move by word or whatever. And then we could just have a whole day of this session here just on how to copy, cut, and paste text now, because now you have voice commands that are available to you. You don't even have to touch the phone if you want to select. And if you have a Pixel, you can, well, it's just amazing what you can do with the Pixel 6, because you don't have to touch the phone at all if you don't want to. So, but there's lots of other things that you can do as far as selecting text and removing the text, moving it around, and it's all with finger gestures now, no more right angles to do those tasks. So, but that, like I said, that would take most of this time.
Wow, well, thank you. Oh, and if it's okay, I just want to ask one more. I just want to ask my main one, so I don't, as she said, monopolize the time. When I want to hear a phone number, is there a way where you can hear it digit by digit instead of hearing 2 billion, 1 million? Like, is there a way that I can do that? I know there is a way. Can someone tell me how to do that?
Same thing, you just swipe to the left or right with 3 fingers till you get to characters, and swipe, I have to do it with my finger, swipe down. Or if down doesn't work because you're at a different point in the text, swipe up.
I'm sorry, not in a text message. Like if I'm
No, it's the same thing no matter where you are. If you're on a website, text message, the phone app, you can even, if you're fast enough, you can even do it while you have an incoming phone call, go letter by letter. But the granularity works everywhere. It's system-wide.
Got you. Oh, thank you so much. I appreciate it.
This is Sheree.
Yes, Sheree.
So Kevin, just so I understand, so it's 3 finger swipe left to go through the character selection, word selection. Now, is it 3 finger swipe down to go through one by one, or is it 1 finger swipe down?
1 finger to move by whatever you've set. And there's other things that don't have to do with granularity that are in the quick menu. I think they call it the reading menu. I call it the quick menu because that's what Samsung used to call it. But it's, so that's the way you adjust your speed. They have speed, they have accessibility volume, punctuation, spoken language, but the granularity comes first. So you move over to paragraphs and then you swipe up or down to move forward or backward by paragraph.
Got it. Thank you.
This is Weber.
Yes, Weber.
Yeah, so using the 3 fingers to change the granularities, I mean, it's one of the amazing things that we can use here. I just have one question about that. Feel like 1 month ago, it appeared to me the paragraph granularity. And I was impressed by that because I didn't have that, and I thought it was amazing. But that is kind of inconsistent. Sometimes it appears, so I can change the granularity to paragraph, and that's amazing. But most of the time, I use my 3 fingers to change the granularity, but the paragraph is not there. Like it goes like lines, words, characters, titles, links, but no paragraph. And all of a sudden, I mean, depending on the screen that I am, it goes there, I go there, and the paragraph is there. So it's kind of inconsistent. So did anyone face something like that?
So this is Kevin again.
Yeah.
Originally, the way that Talkback and accessibility was set up is that if there were no paragraphs, paragraphs would not appear, even if you had it enabled. Now they're kind of going to a way that even if there are no headings, headings is still there if you enable it in the reading setting. So that it might be still picking up on some of that old features where I see no paragraphs, so paragraphs is not necessary here.
Yeah.
Because basically when you read by paragraph or by line, you're basically reading by the same thing. Well, not really, but it almost reads the same way anyway.
Yep. Appreciate.
All right. Thank you, Kevin. Any?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's Weber again. There is also like a practice menu so you can practice these gestures. I think it's four. What is it? I think it's four taps. Four taps, the two fingers. Let me just double check. So it's yeah, we can practice those gestures. Let me just find out here. Which one is that?
Okay.
It's one or two with four fingers, but I don't know because I disabled it. I turned it to my voice command gesture, so I don't remember if it's one or two. One is practice, one is tutorial. It's 4 fingers 1 time or either 4 fingers 2 times.
Hey, this is Hershey. Can you all hear me?
Yay, Hershey.
Hey, everybody. Hopefully everyone's doing well. And for Simone, any questions are allowed. We have till 9:30, so as many as you could squeeze in. Don't feel shy. More questions because someone else might have the same question as you. When it comes to the paragraph thing, by the way, Weber, I want to say Samsung might do things differently compared to what Google does. Because I've noticed, I mean, I'm using Android 10 currently on my Note 9, but I've noticed what you're talking about with some sections or websites in sense of paragraph, reading line by line, paragraph by paragraph, and then sometimes it's available or not eminent with what you're reading. But I have noticed that I'm wondering if it's a browser thing where it's not recognizing it as a paragraph or such. So as Kevin said, it might eliminate that in the menu. A great place to go as a brand new user or anybody for that matter is there are 2 sections. One is the Talkback menu. The second being, Talkback Settings. And Talkback Settings are, to get there to achieve that is tapping by 3 fingers or going in the long way, you go to settings and, find accessibility, find talkback and so on and so forth. Now, within the 2 formats, you have the ability, like I said, to choose what you want to do and where you want to do it. Talkback menu to me is a place where it's intermediate. I like using it, but I don't use it every day. And that's kind of like copy last utterance or speak I forget the 2-3 choices that are available. Read top of page, read bottom of page, read by next line. By the way, we do have one mic open. We'll take care of that real quick. But just to mention further, with that said, Talkback menu is where you will find talkback settings, you'll find text-to-speech settings, you'll find search, like screen search, if you like that. If you like to be, real silent and stealth, you could go dark mode. So you could keep it under that menu. Now, the second set of menus we mentioned were inside of Talkback settings. In Talkback settings, you have a gesture section, and then you have I'm trying to recall the word off the top of my head. I think I know it. Okay, I don't. It's right underneath customized gestures. So what that is essentially what Kevin mentioned earlier about line by line, paragraph by paragraph, heading, etc. What I like setting mine up to is default, because default just acts like default. It just doesn't do word by word or character by character. So what's your number? or, significant other or somebody, hey, can I get your number? Well, you're trying to read that number and it's just 3,008,001,567. What was that number? How do we get around this? This talkback thing is annoying. Oh my God. So character by character, word by word, paragraph by paragraph, line by line, read from top, read from next. These are some of the words that get thrown out in the talkback land. And all this means is read from top. Okay, read from top. Read from the top of the page or wherever you are, read from the top. Read from next line. Well, you're in the middle of a page. That's, self-explanatory, read from the next line. So you might keep that in that setting box, or you might keep it in your other box. It's like your pocket. You got a right pocket and a left pocket. Which pocket are you right-handed or left-handed? If you're right-handed, you might say, well, I like keeping everything in the talkback menu because that's where I use it the most. If you're left-handed, you're like, well, I use my gestures because to me, gestures are just so much more simple, delicate, easy to flow through. And so when you go through these choices to make, Android, all the difference is you have flexibility. And that's where people find that, oh my God, it's Android, it's so different. Oh my God, it's so different. But when we look at iPhones, they're synonymous. They're quite synonymous because the rotor is Talkback Menu, right? That's, if you really want to think of what Talkback Menu is, that's the rotor, because it has selections you could add or you could deselect, right? The talkback, the other part of talk in the customized settings, I can't think of the word. If Ava or somebody could help you think of that word, that is where you find gesture tools. So read from top is there, character by character, word by word, all of those. Let's just say you don't ever want to read line by line. You could uncheck it. You could ignore it completely. If you want to, set it to something that you don't want to have a annoyance of that circle, because again, it's a rotor, it's a circle, it repeats things over and as a circle. So between these choices of what you want to do, how you want to do it, it depends on your choice. So we go to a website, right? And you're trying to get the phone number for Best Buy. Okay, we're bestbuy.com, we're there, we're trying to get the phone number, but it's 1877 Best Buy. Okay, we got to figure out the digits. So again, same thing. I like to use gestures. So I would swipe up and down until I hear a character, word, default, blah, blah, blah. So I'll stop at character. Once I've stopped at character, I then could use one finger and then swipe right. And when I do swipe right, it's going to go one character at a time because I've already told the device or phone, hey, I want to go by character. So if you're any screen reader, VoiceOver, JAWS, NVDA, similar, thing there. So between the two, you could get a lot done. The granularity gestures can be a little difficult from the get-go, but the one thing the best way to find out what you want to know is ask the questions on how do you want to use it. If you use the talkback menu the most, then guess what? Three finger tap is going to take you to talkback menu every single time. If you want to use accessibility menus because you're low vision or this, that, and the other, and you want to have your magnifier all on the bottom of your phone, well, you have that option too. So I'm going to let the audience drive the questions here. So any more questions?
This is Sri.
Yes, Sri.
So Herbie, just so you know, you said a lot of things and 90% of those things just went through one ear and came out the other. For people like Nancy, I think that's an information overload what you gave her. I think we need to explain to Nancy how to do basic gestures first.
Right.
I think she's at that level.
The thing is, I just Sri, I just want to give people the understanding of what the similarities are between different devices. So if we talk to a certain topic, I mean, right now I have Zoom acting up on my mixer, so I'm not able to bring my phone into the call right now to show you. But if I'm able to here shortly, I'm working on it to bring a Pixel device so I could actually show you what I'm talking about. But when it comes to characters or navigation and stuff like that, you could do it the way default-wise as it's set up, but there are choices, there's flexibility. So when it comes to similarities to some, because I heard a statement earlier, it's harder than VoiceOver. I heard that statement earlier as I was listening. but the similarities, no one ever matches up the similarities. No one matches up why are they different and why is it difficult for somebody. Because if it's difficult, we should make it easier. We should tell Google, hey, you guys are making it difficult, not hard. It shouldn't be the other way around. So I understand that, and that's what we want to. We want to actually ask the audience, if anything. I wanted to ask this question to you guys: is one, do you use Discord? And then two, is if you do, and if you use other apps, what is your take on your experience with Android? Like, do you easily are you flexible to any new app that somebody comes up with? Because I know, there's always a new app around the corner. There's new developers. The Blind Android Users Group always has new apps that they release. So I just wanted to kind of get a little bit of feedback if anyone's willing to share.
But let me also say, this is Ava. With all the information that is being distributed out to everybody, and I know a lot of it's overwhelming a lot of times because it's hard to take notes real quick. That's why we are recording these calls. That's why you can go to ibugtoday.com and re-listen to it as much as you need as well. Okay, so just remember, you can go to ibugtoday.com, go to the Android Insight tab, and you can always go back to all of our previous meetings and actually listen to them over and over again as much as you want. Okay.
Great
All
point,
right.
Ava. And by the way, we have had that recording of Talkback menus and stuff previously, so they are in last year's recordings.
Oh, good.
So thanks, Ava.
Yeah.
Good. Well, what's the difference between Louis Voice and Google Assist? Can you have both? Like, I have an Android 11 phone. I'm not even talking on it because I'm too green on another phone, obviously.
Okay. And your name, please? I didn't quite catch your name.
This is Nancy again. I'm monopolizing the
Miss Nancy.
conversation. I'm sorry.
No worries.
Yes.
No, that's a perfect question. And so to give you a little bit of differences between the 2.3 and, Pramit did come on to our show earlier end of last year, I want to say, about Louis Voice and what Voice Assistant is, and then what is voice access, right? Those are the three that I think are throwing people off. Kevin earlier said that the Pixel could pretty much be used hands-free. Oh, how would you do that, Kevin? Well, it's through voice access, and voice access controls your phone. So that's an app that Google is manufacturing and made by Google. And that does control your phone with different parts of the menu. That is not a screen reader. So we have to always understand that what we're using doesn't always mean the same thing, but it's getting that task completed is what our end goal should be. What is the difference between Assistant, which is Google Assistant, and then what's Louis Voice? Well, Louis Voice is being created in the sense of it could do stuff for you, right? So if you needed to order Ubers and the different functionalities that I think Gmail and stuff, it's picking up different tricks every day. But as it's doing that, you will notice that it is not necessarily the same thing. Voice access is probably more of a developed Louis Voice, but to say what Google Assistant is Louis Voice is not accurate. What Google Assistant is of course a AI type of speaker or voice or whatever. It could come in many formats. It comes in your phone, which is Google Assistant, or your Google app. The Google app has a microphone. That microphone lets you know you have an assistant on your phone. You have the Assistant app you could download if you needed to. I usually do that because I could clear storage and stuff that deal with the Assistant, and sometimes it's better for management. But the other choice that you have is to, if you're traveling, if you're navigating, it controls other applications such as Google Maps. So if you say, hey, drive to, Pizza Hut, it's going to take you to Pizza Hut with the closest pizza in your proximity. So Google Assistant will do text messages, will do emails and all of that fun stuff. The difference we want to make sure is we understand what are the differences of what that task is. If you're trying to call somebody, and you're saying, okay, G, call Ava. Well, I might have Ava, more than one Ava on my phone, and it will say, okay, do you want to call this Ava or that Ava? And that's one method. Method number two is if you want a text message. And so you might say, hey, do you want to go pick up some PB and J sandwiches and eat some Taco Bell and go to Sonic's the Hedgehog's. What? I didn't say that. And that's where you'll find dictation errors. So it's best if you want to do text messages to use the keyboard's dictation. If you really want to speak something out and you want to send it to somebody. And if you want to use it for talk, if you want to use, how to find a recipe and stuff, I would go use Google Assistant. If you want to use Louis Voice as a new product and you find it useful, then that's another tool you could use. So that's kind of like the general idea of the differences there.
Okay, thank you.
This is Kevin. I just wanted to say that as he was saying, a lot of the features kind of overlap. Google Assistant is mainstream. Think of it as your Echo assistant. I won't say her name, but it shines in areas where it is to make it easier for everybody, whereas Louis Voice Control is to make it is an accessibility product. And to complicate things even further, now voice access comes standard and installed on the Android phone. So now there's even a Google version of Louis Voice Control that you can use also. But the things that they are able to do with Louis Voice Control that you can do with just your voice, as far as what you can do with emails and the things that they were demonstrating and that I've tested myself, is really, really something that you should experience.
This is Suva.
Yes, Suva.
Go ahead.
Would this be comparable to Dragon by any chance? All of this voice access and voice control.
In which context, Suba? Which products are we talking about? Really?
Controlling text, editing text. The what is it called? Is it Louis Voice? I'm not. This is the first time I've ever heard of it.
So Louis Voice is found on both platforms, iOS and Android. But what Louis Voice's job is kind of a controller. So you say, "Hey, order Uber to go to the mall," and then whatever, Houston Mall. And so when you say that, it's doing two things. It's first opening up the Louis app. Second, it's taking whatever address, or you said Houston Mall, taking that information, typing it into that field, and then finding you something. So it's actually more of a control of your device type of app, whereas Dragon would be more like dictation, right? It would be like your Google Docs. It would be like what do you call Microsoft, if you're trying to use the Microsoft tool to talk. Those are all talking things. Yeah, you could have a whole conversation and do your productive things on it. But Louis Voice is more so, again, it's, as you said, it's a tool, an accessibility tool, so it's a little bit different in comparison to the other ones.
But you can have it along with a Google Assist on your phone, right? I have 11. You can put that on, install that as well. Okay.
Yeah, because Google Assistant is a tool to help you do far more things. I mean, you could control your lights, your speakers, your pretty much anything that you could, that it's capable of at this point. So you still have that tool available, but it's just adding on more buffer to voice.
This is true.
Yeah, sure.
So Louis Voice, it wasn't last time I heard it. It was pretty limited, wasn't it? You can't use it for everything. It was like from the demo that he showed. It's only certain apps can work with it.
That's correct, and that's the thing that people I think might be a little like, hey, this is a voice access app, but it has voice access, of course, but to a certain functionality. And like, I haven't seen what Kevin is speaking of, but they are working on opening up a lot of different apps to it. So that's just one tool.
Yeah, and
This is
Ava.
Kevin.
Go ahead,
I just
Kevin.
wanted to say about it that they are adding apps, and it is limited for people who are probably more power users, because there's no functionality for DoorDash or something, and that might be coming. But for what most people use their phones for, with the exception of the camera, it does on Android. I know there were still some issues with what it was going to be able to do on iOS, but You can compose, add contact and everything, and go all the way through the email process with just your voice. The same thing with YouTube. You can search, play, fast forward, pause, go to the next video, previous video. You can send a text message. The one difference between Louis voice control and the assistant is that the assistant will only read your unread email, unread text messages. Louis voice control
Hello?
will read any text message you want it to.
All right, sorry, we had to mute again. So just a reminder, everybody, if you are not speaking, you have to please stay on mute for the recording. And we just need to, try to really minimize background noise. All right, so Kevin, sorry to interrupt you. You can come back in.
Yeah, but I was just saying that the Louis voice control
Sorry
just
about
kind of
that, guys.
takes with those
My
core
phone.
apps like the phone and text messages and things like that. It takes those core apps and kind of expands upon what Google is already doing, and they keep adding functionality too. So like I said, sometimes it seems like duplicating or a little redundant, but they are adding apps, but for email, phone, text messages, YouTube, Uber, Lyft, not having to touch your screen to confirm that you want this ride. I mean, it asks you what level service, which ride you want. They tell you the price. Is this okay? It's really pretty impressive. I've just gotten used to using my phone the manual way, but I could turn Louis voice control on and completely be comfortable with it.
This is Weber.
Go
Yes,
ahead,
Weber.
Weber.
So and this Louis voice control, this is like with all Android device, not just Pixel. Is that right?
All Android devices.
Okay, but you said something about like things that you can do in Pixel that are like way different. Could you I mean just a little bit of those things? And this is not like related to Louis voice control, is that right?
Kevin, are you referring to voice access maybe on a Pixel?
I can try to prepare something like for next time. Get some
Okay.
text and stuff, because you can copy and you can say delete the word access or something like that. It looks at what's on the screen, and so like if you're on a page where it says submit instead of search, it gives you suggestions, and they don't get picked up by the speech to text or whatever. So it'll say, if I'm on Walmart, it'll say clear, search, or validate, whatever the affirmative or the cancel options are. It tells you what's on the screen, and it gives you those suggestions.
Hi, this is Anthony. Sorry to interrupt. Is this a
Go ahead.
90-minute call?
9:30. Yep.
Okay, they had it listed as an hour on my sheet. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Now, Kevin, if you can prepare a demonstration for next month's meeting.
Yes, I can do that.
And I guess Kevin, it's basically that tensor chip, right? It's everything's happening on phone, and so when you're controlling, everything's happening on phone when it's being controlled.
Yes, but even that, and what I'm also going to demonstrate is voice commands, because you can do the same thing. You can tell it to find, and this is available on all Android
And
phones.
we're talking about
11 and
talkback
up.
voice commands.
Yes, and you can say find the next button, find the search button, and so and we had that feature before the Pixels got it, but so it's still available
So
to you.
Kevin, for the listeners though, would you say that they would have to buy Pixel 6 for that functionality of, what you've discussed, or
for the
I mean, like I know, I could say voice commands is on Talkback right now, so you have that available too.
This is Sonia. I have a question.
Yes.
Well, I mean, I
think
don't
we
know if
got
that
cut off.
discussion is done or have a new question or.
What happened? Is Kevin there?
Oh yeah, no, she can go. Next question. I mean,
Okay.
I'll prepare for this one.
Okay.
Thank you, Kevin. Yes,
All right.
Sandra.
Okay, so the question is, suppose it's another Alexa question, sorry.
Okay.
So I say to her, look up a recipe for whatever, and then she'll come back and say, okay, I've got 3 choices, there are 3 choices. How do you get her to actually read one of them? And again, this is on the Echo show. Maybe it's the whole, from our prior discussion, maybe that's the whole problem. I don't know, but or even maybe I should try it on a regular the one without a display. But anyway, that's the question. How to, once she's found a result, make her read it.
Okay.
This
Let's
is
open.
Kevin. I can only
Yes,
speak about it from a point of not having a screen. So I think there's possibly a difference because she will ask you, as does the Google Assistant, which one you want when there's not the presence of a screen.
Oh, this is Sandhya.
Yes, Sandhya.
So I think that like my mom could see the thing on the display, and then I guess my other question is like with voice view on, what would be the gesture to like make her start reading from wherever you were, just like 2 fingers down, scroll or down, or what do we do to make it read?
2 fingers
I think it's
down.
This
I
is
believe.
Sheree.
I think it's the same thing it is on iOS or something. I think. I don't know.
Yeah, Sheree.
I was gonna say I think it's 2 fingers swipe down too.
Thank you.
This is Sheree.
Yes.
Sunday, did you try to ask it to say, hey, read me 1 or read the first or read the second or read the third?
Yeah. Yes, this is Sandhya. Yes, I did, and then she tried to read one of my audiobooks.
Oh.
So
Did you ask it nicely?
no, I don't know how to be that nice, so no, I guess not. Okay, thank you. Thank you.
Well, Sonia, did you ask to read the first recipe?
Yeah, that's what I thought I tried to do, and that's when she
Okay.
tried. I said read the first one, but I guess she thought that was a book, so maybe I didn't say recipe. So okay.
Yeah, because I find mine gets temperamental with me on occasion.
Yeah, mine's always okay. Okay, thank you.
Okay.
This is Sheree. I've got a question.
Go ahead, Sheree.
Yes, Sheree.
So I'm a little intrigued about voice controlled and talkback, because one of the issues that we have with an iOS is, we have voice control and voiceover, and they don't always play well. How well does it play on the Google, where you can actually talk and then have talkback tell you what's on the screen?
Anybody have an answer for Mr. Shree? I haven't played with voice access, so I'm not certain on that. But if anybody else has had a little play with voice access and
This is
talkback,
Kevin. I
Hey, Kevin.
have experience with it. It's very good. It doesn't interrupt. It doesn't put text in that you might be saying, or if you say find the word, capital or whatever, it doesn't interfere with it. Or if you say find next. I haven't used the voice access as much. Voice commands is built into TalkBack with anything 11 and up. Voice access you have to turn on in accessibility settings. I am a beta tester for it, but I didn't need it so much, so I don't always enable it. Sometimes I'll turn it on if I have a student who I think is going to benefit from it, but I know it's gotten better. I just don't know how much better.
Tell you what, Shree, next month I will go ahead and turn it on and force myself to use both of those, talkback and voice access, and see how long and if we have any screen broken. So we'll give it that a whirl.
Okay.
Any next questions, concerns, thoughts about TalkBack, Android, anything else? I know we do have a guest listener here right now, and I appreciate you for that. But any other questions?
This is Eva.
concerns? Go ahead.
Hey, Eva.
Hello. Let's see. My question is just about either for the Pixel. I'm still using the 4A, or even if you're on a Kindle tablet, I have that too. Is there a quick way to turn on and off TalkBack or voice view?
Pixel, I got an answer, and
Okay.
Kindle, I'm gonna see what the audience has to say first, and then I will give you your answer.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Anybody?
You say you do have the answer for the Pixel.
For the Pixel, I would say I would use, the three finger. You could use a three finger, or excuse me, the volume up and down to turn off TalkBack on and off. That's obviously to turn the TalkBack on and off completely. So that's option one. Option two is using something called accessibility menu, which comes in two flavors. One's a floating button, or one's worked by gestures. It's the same thing, same interworkings. So give you an example for me, I like color inversion for mine since I have a little bit of sight. So same principle, you choose what you'd like, talkback or color inversion. Go to accessibility. At the bottom, you'll see advanced settings. It's totally at the bottom. And when you select that, and this is for Google Pixels more so than anything, Samsungs are somewhat similar, but let's just want to clarify that for people. And when you go to the bottom, advanced settings, you'll have a choice of having a floating button or using it by gestures. Once you check mark that, then tap with three fingers to go to open the Talkback menu. So that's a big list. Then go to settings, Talkback settings, excuse me. In the Talkback settings for customized gesture, set whatever gesture you'd like. So we were talking about four fingers opens up tutorials and this and that. You could customize it. So what I like doing is swipe left and down is my color inversion, because you could just flick your finger across the screen really quick, and bam, the color inversion is on, color inversion is off. So for TalkBack, you could do the exact same thing. Pick TalkBack as that thingy that I can't think of the words right now, but you're choosing TalkBack as your thing, and then pick a gesture, and then when you do that, you could turn off TalkBack instantaneously on and off.
Oh, that's great. So this is Eva again. So when you say volume buttons, what do you mean? Like you just press them at the same time?
If you press and hold your up and down volume, it will kill TalkBack about 3 to 5
for
seconds.
About 2 seconds or 15?
Yeah, 3 to 5 seconds.
Okay.
3 to 5.
I have a question.
Samsungs are 5. Go ahead, Kevin.
I wanted to know, so you want to use the Kindle app with accessibility enabled, but you don't want TalkBack to talk?
No, like let's say I want a sighted person and they're trying to help me or do something, or that maybe they have a child and want to play with the Kindle. Because I use that one a lot. I let sighted people play with it. So sometimes I just want to quickly turn off voice view, and same thing. Okay. Yeah.
Ava, would you?
Is the power key 3 times?
Oh, okay. That's easy. Thank you. I made it harder than it was. Okay.
Ava, does the Amazon side of things, do they have the customized gestures of any sorts?
Yes, they do. And usually, but if you have like a Fire tablet or even the Kindle, then you just go into you can go into tutorial with the 4 fingers, double tap, and the tutorial will come on, and you can practice the gestures that way. But yeah, they do the gestures. Question is, either you talking about just the Kindle app on the phone, right? Not a Kindle.
No, I have a Fire tablet.
Okay. So yeah. Okay.
This is Simone. I have 2 more thank you, related questions.
Sure.
The first one is, how can I stop TalkBack from talking too much? Sometimes she just speaks a little more than I needed to. That's the first question. The second question is, how can I minimize TalkBack when I'm trying to use Google Assistant, or maybe use voice speech to text when I'm trying to do a Google search? What's happening is it's picking up what TalkBack is saying and it's timing me out and I can't record anything, or it's picking up what she's saying and it's searching what she's saying. So how can I stop that from happening?
Thank you so much for that question. And what kind of device are you using, by the way, just to get a little bit more clarification so we speak to it?
Sure. I have a Galaxy A71, and then I also have a Galaxy A01, but my primary phone is the A71.
Excellent. Okay. Well, I'll leash it off to the audience here, and hopefully someone has an answer for you, and I have some ideas too. So we'll see.
This is Kevin.
Carry
I'll
on.
address your second question first. The one thing that you always want to do is to make sure that your assistant and that talkback are updated so that they play nicely together. If you notice that that continues, go through the Be My Eyes app, go to specialized help and talk to Google and report it. They will support Samsung devices and stuff, even though you get the talkback on your A71 from the Galaxy store, but they will test it. And if they can prove that that's happening more often than not, because what's supposed to happen is that when you engage the assistant, it's supposed to make talkback go silent. And so it's doing that on my S21, but sometimes they get out of sync because you're getting your updates from two different places. One's coming from the Play Store, one's coming from the Galaxy Store.
Thank you for that, Kevin. And to go back to question number one, as far as how do you make it stop from being a little bit too chattery, talkback wise, you could hold your two fingers down on the screen, and that should pause speech. So whenever you're going through different screens and you just want to make it, that's where use the word shut up for a little bit. Hold down two fingers on the screen and it'll do that. The other thing I like using personally on my older device, like my Note 9 or even my Pixel 4 XL, is to use proximity. And that will be found under accessibility settings. So first you'd go to settings, then accessibility. Under accessibility, you'd actually, I'll take that back. It's under talkback settings, and under talkback settings, which is that 3-finger tap, as we spoke about earlier. And that'll open up a talkback menu. You could draw the letter L, does the same thing. So for the old people that used to do the right angle gestures, draw an L, that's talkback menu. If not, tap with 3 fingers, that's talkback menu. Look for talkback settings. Under talkback settings, you could then change it from there.
Thank you both.
Absolutely. And go ahead.
I just wanted to include that this is the number one question that I get at the beginning of every Android class that I teach. So I will write this up and post this to the list. When you go into the the very menu that he's talking about, where you want to go, everyone, is to verbosity and turn your usage hints off. That's what makes it stop telling you things that you already know. Double tap to activate, press swipe up and down to do this and that. It turns all that off and you don't have to worry about it as much. So go to talkback settings, talkback menu, talkback settings, verbosity, and uncheck the box that says speak usage answers.
Okay, thank you.
And that should take care of a lot of stuff like that. And let's just say you were on Google Assistant and you've done your emailing, you've done your due diligence. One good website to have on hand is g.co/disability support. Quite simple to remember. Disability support, one word. g.co g.co/disability support. What that takes you to is Google's support page. So if you want to email them, you want to call them, all of those functionalities are available to you, and you could use something like Be My Eyes if you have another device or stuff like that. Hey, can you check out my thermostat? I can't get it to work. Hey, I can't get my phone to work with my thermostat. Things like that are all game. So it's a quick way to get a hold of someone from Google. And you could use Be My Eyes, like I said, for the devices and stuff like that. So if you do need support outside of that, and then for us, ibugtoday.com, of course, look up Android Insight on the tabs. And then, Ava, you want to give them that email address? Let's see if you know that email address. I always give it out.
No, I can let you do it.
Okay. Okay, it's iBUG, iBUG, Android Insight. So it's iBUG, ANDROID, Insight, INSIGHT, plus subscribe at groups.io, GRUPS.io. If you send us a blank email, we could add you to the list. So if there's something going on, if maybe, some other people have some good ideas, or lately I've been meeting some cool people across the globe, and, we've all been talking about accessibility. So if we could all help each other and we have suggestions, we'd love to hear it. I would really want to know about Discord, please. So maybe send in your answers to us at our email address, iBUG Android Insight, plus subscribe at groups.io, which is to subscribe to the list. And then Ava, give them the email. Come on, do that much.
Oh, come on. It's iBUG Android Insight at groups.io.
Yeah.
Okay. Now I have a question that was posed because I know we have a lady that wasn't able to get on the call tonight, but it is a problem that she's having with Android when you get a text message, and when you have a long text message and it has the view all, but when she double taps on it, it's not opening it up. So is anybody else having that issue? Because we both noticed it when the latest Android 12 update came out.
Anyone have any suggestions for Miss Ava and the
This is Kevin. Which
Yeah.
device does she have?
Samsung Galaxy Note 20G.
I don't want to seem harsh, but everyone who uses an Android device should only use Google Messages.
Mhm.
That'll solve all the problems.
But it is messages.
But yes, they're both call messages. That can be
Okay,
very
but
confusing.
the Google
But
message.
Samsung is using, and theirs is very good, but it has some tracking issues. It will skip messages as you're going back through like your message thread. And even on the Galaxy S22, they have switched to Google Messages also. So
Okay, I'll let her know.
try that and then see. But there is something called message previews, and they will work a lot better in messages than they will in the Samsung app.
And
which is
to
still a
add to
great
your
app, but it just has
to add to your things, Kevin, is like Samsung makes apps, Google makes apps. So like for anybody else that is, for listeners, you'll find the Galaxy not the Galaxy Play, the Galaxy Store has the same equivalent apps, but it's just where you're downloading it from. So like Talkback, things like that. So sometimes they do find a lot of quirks. I have that same app. All I could suggest to the person is to swipe right one more time, because they might see the view all, but then when you swipe left, you'll hear view all link. So they might be hearing view all, but maybe not seeing a link. I'll try to play with it on my Android 10, because I do see that after, you have a long message. Sometimes we use dictation and it'll be a big paragraph, and it'll have information below, and it kind of annoys me at this point now, because I have to swipe right and then look for view all and then make sure I'm reading the whole message, because a couple times it tricked me that I thought I read the whole message and there was plenty more to be said below. So I would say swipe right with one finger and see if that antidotally gives you anything towards the bottom, or if not, use the move your finger, whatever move, drag your finger around the screen to see if you hear anything different there.
Okay.
Yep. All right. Any more questions? We're almost out of here, but
and this is Kevin, and there are some settings, Ava, in the, I don't know exactly where they are, that will deal with the way messages and phone calls are handled. So if they want to stick with the Samsung app, there are some changes that you can make, because I don't know why it's not showing the whole message at one time anyway. There's something in the settings that's been changed, but you can get off in there and change a couple of check boxes, and it should be a temporary fix.
Okay. All right, I will let them know. And as Hershey said, we're down to our last 5 minutes, so we are going to wrap up the call.
Well, if there's any other quick ones, if Simone, if you've got what you need, and like I said, reach out to us, email us. We were coming back next month again, of course, third Wednesday. So every third Wednesday of the month is when we host the show, Android Insight, 8 o'clock Central Time. Oh, actually Eastern time. eight, 7 Central. That's how you're supposed to say it back in the Nickelodeon days. But yeah, so if anyone else has any comments, concerns, real quick, we're about to wrap up. Go ahead, Carlo. I think it was. We don't really raise our hand, but go ahead and unmute yourself.
Currently unmuted.
Hi, it's my first time to join the
Welcome.
iBUG today, so I have a question about Android.
Yes.
Since you're talking about Android, like, is there a way you could get voiceover enabled on the Android, like on the iPhone?
Yes, you would look for what is called Talkback. We
Yeah.
are running short on time here, so we won't be able to get into it for right now.
Okay.
But we have 4 minutes or so, 3 to 4 minutes. So as much as I could give you, you are able to, let's say if you bought a brand new device, you would hold your volume up and down buttons for 3 to 5 seconds. That will trigger Talkback on. So if you bought a brand new Android device, that's how you trigger it back on. Or you hold your 2 fingers on the screen and wait for it to talk to you or vibrate. And that's a quick way to get Talkback turned on, synonymous to what VoiceOver is on an iPhone.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. And like I said, join us back again next month, third Wednesday. And if in the meantime, if you want to shoot us a quick email and, hey, can you give us a quick rundown? You could absolutely do that. And then search on our YouTube video or our YouTube channel for iBUG today. And like this stuff will go on there. And then you could dig through some of the past stuff. And that might give you a little bit more insight into Android.
Okay.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, so we're wrapping up down to our last 2 minutes. And as Hershey was saying, we do meet every third Wednesday. So our next meeting will be on the 16th of March at the same time, 8 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Central for an hour and a half. So
Sounds great. Thank you so
I
much,
want to
Ava.
thank you. I thank you, Hershey. I want to thank ACB for hosting us. And we look forward to seeing y'all next month.
Thank you.
Thank you.